Many people proudly say, "My house is in my name," thinking this is a sign of financial security. However, financially smart individuals avoid putting their houses directly in their names because it increases personal liability. Robert Kiyosaki advises holding valuable assets in strong legal entities like a limited liability company, LLC, which provides protection. On the other hand, bad legal entities such as sole proprietorships and general partnerships expose owners to greater risk. Surprisingly, many small business owners unknowingly choose these weaker structures. Another crucial step is buying personal liability insurance immediately. Remember, insurance cannot be purchased at the moment of crisis. No one sells insurance for a house that's already on fire. Therefore, it's essential to secure insurance beforehand to protect yourself financially. In the world of finance, brokers play a significant role as salespeople for stocks, real estate, mortgages, businesses, and more. The problem today is that most people receive financial advice from brokers whose primary goal is to sell, not necessarily to provide the best advice. Kiyosaki warns that you should ask any broker if they became wealthy through their financial knowledge or just their sales ability. It's important to choose brokers who genuinely invest in what they sell and who aim to build lasting relationships, not just close quick sales. Budgeting is essentially a plan for managing your resources. Two key terms to understand are budget deficit and budget surplus. A budget deficit happens when your spending exceeds your income, while a budget surplus means you earn more than you spend. Although everyone desires a budget surplus, the reality is that most people, and even many governments, operate with deficits. There are two ways to achieve a budget surplus: either cut expenses or increase income. Most people focus on cutting expenses, but Kiyosaki suggests the smarter approach is to increase your income. Paradoxically, this may involve increasing certain expenses to grow your earning power. For example, if your store isn't selling enough, instead of cutting marketing costs, you should invest more in promotion to generate extra sales. Another important expense to prioritize is paying yourself first, treating the money you set aside for savings and investments as a necessary expense. This is what Kiyosaki calls the pay yourself first strategy. Even if you are operating at a deficit, you should pay yourself first because this money will be used to create assets that build your wealth over time. Kiyosaki shares a personal story to explain how he and his wife Kim applied the pay yourself first principle even when they were struggling financially. Shortly after getting married, like many young couples, they found themselves with more expenses than income. To address this, they hired a bookkeeper named Betty and instructed her to take 30% of all income off the top and move it directly into their asset column, meaning savings and investments. For example, if they earned $1,000 and had $1,500 in expenses, Betty was told to first take $300, 30%, and treat it as a non-negotiable expense. The remaining $700 was to be used to pay off the $1,500 in bills. As expected, this created a monthly shortfall, sometimes as high as $4,000. But instead of pulling from their savings or panicking, Kiyosaki and Kim would challenge themselves to go earn the difference. Kim used her marketing skills to pick up consulting gigs, took modeling jobs, and sold clothes. Kiyosaki offered sales training classes and even took on small side jobs like helping families move or clearing land. They were willing to do whatever it took, and somehow they always managed to make up the shortfall. Their strategy worked not because they were lucky, but because they made building assets their top financial priority, even over paying bills. Ironically, Betty, the bookkeeper, couldn't bring herself to apply this same strategy to her own finances. She retired with little to her name, living with her daughter and still struggling with a deficit budget. The key takeaway: solving the problem of not having enough money by paying yourself first forces you to grow. It challenges you to be more resourceful, to learn, and to increase your income, and that's what raises your financial IQ. Financial IQ number 4 is all about leverage, a powerful tool that allows you to do more with less. Most people are familiar with putting their money into a savings account, which involves zero leverage. You earn only on what you deposit. But leverage changes everything. Take real estate, for example. If a bank requires a 20% down payment, it means for every dollar you invest, the bank contributes 4. This amplifies your returns, allowing you to make more money using less of your own. Many financial advisors say leverage is risky, but Kiyosaki argues that leverage is only risky when you invest in things you don't control. For instance, people who invest in stocks or mutual funds typically have no control over those assets, making leveraged investing dangerous. That's why banks rarely lend money for stock investments. In contrast, if you own a business or real estate, you can directly influence income, expenses, assets, and liabilities, giving you control and reducing risk. Kiyosaki emphasizes that leverage isn't just about money. You can also leverage other people's knowledge, time, skills, and even products. For example, if you're bad at video editing, you can hire someone who finishes the task in 1 hour, while it would take you 20. That's using other people's knowledge as leverage. Time is another form of leverage. Successful entrepreneurs delegate tasks that aren't worth their time so they can focus on activities that grow their business. Jeff Bezos didn't build Amazon by cleaning his house or answering customer service emails. He leveraged other people's time. Similarly, your network can also serve as leverage. The right connection might introduce you to an opportunity or expert that shortcuts your path to success. In short, leverage allows you to multiply your impact, whether it's through money, people, skills, or systems. The more intelligently you use leverage, the faster you grow. The fifth and final pillar of financial intelligence is information. In war, accurate information can mean the difference between life and death. In business, it can mean the difference between wealth and poverty. With the right information and the leverage of technology, young entrepreneurs have built billion-dollar companies from almost nothing. Think of the founders of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Their success wasn't because they had massive capital, it was because they had the right information at the right time. However, the reverse is also true. Bad or outdated information can be a massive liability. Many people struggle financially today because they're still following industrial age advice in an information age world. They believe that getting a good education and landing a stable job is the ultimate path to success. While this advice may have worked decades ago, the world has changed and it continues to evolve rapidly. The challenge today isn't lack of information. In fact, information is more abundant than ever, and that's the problem. It's overwhelming. Worse, the value of information depreciates fast. What you learn today might be irrelevant in 18 months. That's why continual learning is essential. You must actively unlearn outdated advice and replace it with current, practical knowledge. Kiyosaki compares outdated knowledge to expired food. It might have once been good, but now it can make you sick. Most people would never drink expired milk or eat spoiled meat, yet they allow their brains to run on obsolete ideas. This, Kiyosaki believes, is a major reason why many people are financially sick. Though this chapter doesn't provide step-by-step instructions for improving your financial IQ, the message is clear. Stay informed, stay updated, and always question whether the information you're using is still valid. Just like your body needs healthy food, your financial life depends on fresh, accurate knowledge.